And good morning, everybody. This is another edition of the Morning Blitz Sports Talk, only on the Hardcore Sports Network. I am your host, AJ. And let's get right into it. The Major League Baseball news. Reds versus the Nationals. Nick Lodolo threw his first career complete game shutout as the Reds beat Washington 5-0 and snapping their three-game streak and keeping them the only MLB team never swept this season. That's a big impressive feat there. Major League Baseball bets several strong prep bet plays for tonight's games, including pitcher performance picks in the Blue Jays and Tigers, Cardinals and Padres, A's, Astros, and White Sox and Rays. Now let's go to NFL Grand Park in Westfield with attention on the QB battle between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. The Chicago Bears' new coach, Ben Johnson, benched the first team offense early in camp to demand more precision. Rookies show Jaden Daniels impressed early in camp with a crisp pass to Deebo Samuel, while vets like Von Miller empathize strong team culture. Tour de France Stage 18, the grueling mountain stage, today climbs over 5,450 meters across the Col du Roman, and I can't pronounce French for the life of me. Had a minor scare after rear-ending a team car, but remains in command. Carlos Rodriguez withdrew with a broken pelvis. Darts World Match Play currently underway in Blackpool, July 19th to 27th. The tournament saw defending champ Luke Humphreys house early. Rising star Luke Littler, just 18, is now the hot favorite to win it all. The WNBA tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The Indiana Fever hosts the Las Vegas Aces in a key matchup. And then for boxing, don't miss the Golden Boy Fight Night tonight at 9 p.m. on Danzin with Gucci Manny Flores versus George Chavez, the man dominating the main event. On TV tonight, Thursday, July 24th, is AFL, F1 practice, CFL, ladies pro golf and PGA tours, Major League Baseball regional games, Tour de France coverage, and the WNBA game all feature prominently for today. All right, let's get into this here. So Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears, has decided that he's going to bench the players early, first team. So let's go. Let's see who we have here. So 5 players. Let's see. I'm looking here. Here it is. As Bears quarterback Caleb Williams and the first team offense step out to the line of scrimmage early in practice Wednesday morning, they heard a loud yell from behind. Head coach Bennett was already on them. Bears head coach Ben Johnson made it clear on Wednesday that anything less than perfection won't be tolerated. Meanwhile, tight end Colson Loveland was limited, and Ozzie Giant got his first shot at starting left tackle. The defensive coordinator will have to operate the next few weeks of training camp without cornerback Jalen Johnson. Johnson grew annoyed with pre-snap snags and set the second unit in for Caleb Williams and the starters. The NFL Player Association Executive Director Lloyd Hunt resigned last week. We already know this stuff. All right, where we were. Here we go. When Caleb Williams twice had difficulty getting a play call Wednesday, Ben Johnson yanked the Chicago Bears QB and the first unit offense from the action. That's some serious stuff right now. The defensive coordinator Dennis Allen is expecting linebacker Trent Edmonds to make plays like the one he produced in Wednesday's first training camp practice, saying, I am hoping and anticipating him being an example playmaker for us. So let's go back to the fact that Callum Williams in the first unit offense got yanked off the practice field. Oof. That's not good for Callum Williams there. If you are getting yanked, your whole unit, yourself and the whole offense is getting yanked in practice during training camp, that's some serious red flags there. That means there was a problem before the problem goes deeper. And the question now is, was the previous regime in Chicago inserted some bad habits? And if they did, that's not good news. And that's not good news for Caleb Williams and his career. That's telling me that, there could be changes in the wind if nothing gets fixed with the end of training camp. So as of right now, Caleb Williams will be the starter. But I'm going to tell you this right now: if shit doesn't get into order by Ben Johnson's standards, we may see another quarterback in Chicago, and his name is not going to be Caleb Williams. Actually, speaking of which, I don't even know who's on the Chicago Bears roster. So let's see who they have as promising backups to this solution here. Yeah, but was I surprised? No, because I felt that Ben Johnson, first of all, he took a job within the division, which is a big thing. He has to face the Lions twice. And if he can't get this team on the right, then guess what's going to happen? That, he's going to start benching people. Because one thing I know for a fact, his target right now is going to be being the Lions twice. And if he can't beat the Lions twice, then people are going to get benched. That's all I'm saying. Case Needham, which would probably be the starter if Caleb Williams doesn't get a shit in order. Because I don't see anyone else in this quarterback list. I mean, him, a guy named Austin Reed, and Tyson Baggett. So yeah, Case Needham is probably going to be the starter if Caleb Williams doesn't get shit together, and rightfully so. They're serious. They don't even have so some NFL teams already have their depth chart, or at least a concept of their depth chart already put out there. Chicago Bears don't even have nothing. It's absolutely clean slated. There's nobody on there. So let me see if other NFL teams do the same thing during training camp, because if that's what they're doing, like let's say this is then the signs don't look really good for Caleb Williams at all. That means everything's open season right now in Chicago, and that puts a lot more stress. Yeah. Expecting him to. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, okay, never mind. So all NFL teams don't have a depth chart yet. All right, never mind. All right, false alarm on my behalf. But let's talk about that real quick though. Benching your first unit offense is a big time thing. That means there's a flaw in their mechanics, their philosophy about how they should be approaching the game, and that bothers Ben Johnson. And I don't know about you, but if you're in the division and you're facing against your old boss twice in the season, I'm going to be worried. I do not want to lose to my boss twice. And that's where people don't get it. That's where the problem lies, right? When you play against the Detroit Lions twice a season, then you are making things. You're you're setting the precedent. It's like a precedent of where this is going to be. You know, like Dan Campbell does not play around. You know, those Detroit Lions, like he has said before in this infamous video, they're going to eat kneecaps, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to eat the kneecaps of the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson is going to shit in that team in order sooner or later. Now, let's move on to some other stuff that I am. Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones in the quarterback competition. I don't know how I take that. First of all, it's Daniel Jones. I wouldn't want him being starting QB of my team, period. And if Dan Jones wins, then you know Anthony Richardson's career is over. That's all I'm saying. 100%. Done. He's done. He's cooked. There's no way. No way. Also, the on other lovely news here, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the Cleveland Browns debuted a new uniform. Which they are dubbing the Alpha Dog alternative. I don't know how to take what I just saw. You know? I want to laugh, but one thing only, is the fact of the way they are promoting this and who's this presented by. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, this has to be a joke. There's no way when they debut this that Dew Wipes was going to be the sponsor for this, and they were, and I'll show it to you guys. The Alpha Dog uniforms presented by Dew Wipes. So poop color uniforms with a poop color helmet, poop color pants, and it's sponsored by Dew Wipes. We're not sponsored by Dew Wipes, but if Dew Wipes want to give us a shout out, please by all means contact us. So they're gonna be wearing these god awful uniforms for 3 games. The Green at home against Green Bay Packers September 21st on a Sunday, and then October 15th against the Dolphins, and then December 7th against Tennessee Titans. I am happy they're not wearing these against my Ravens, because that would be a horrible looking situation. Like bad. Justin Fields is the quarterback over in the New York Jets now. Speaking of that that lovely shit show going on over in New Jersey there, not New York. Wait, he got hurt? Oh, let me go look. I'm going to tell you right now. Let's see. See what happened to Justin. You said Justin Fields, right? So let me get on there right now. Let's see what happened. They haven't posted anything. No, they haven't said. All right. So if it was today, we're not going to get anything until tomorrow. Well, okay. You're telling me to go on Twitter. So let's see. I'm surprised it hasn't popped up, because normally you would get something, especially on Facebook now today in the world. Actually, let me see if NFL.com has any updates on this. They normally would get on it. Okay, 10 minutes old. Okay, let's see. Wow, I see nothing yet. All right, let's look over on next. For me, Justin Fields has got hurt. Adam Shepard Yep, here it is. Jets QB Justin Fields was carted off the field this morning. The team fears he has torn his Achilles tendon, which would sideline him for the remainder of the season. That is the news of right now breaking out from Adam Shepard. Adam Shepard posted on X. Thank you very much for dropping this in the comments. Justin Fields has torn his Achilles tendon. The curse of being New York Jets QB continues. The only difference is he didn't go in the season opener and then did it. This happened during training camp. With that being said, I do not confirm Achilles. Well, that's not what Adam Shepard says. The team fears he has torn his Achilles, and this was 4 minutes ago, by the way. Adam Shepard reported this 4 minutes ago. Not only that, no, okay, hold on. 9 minutes ago, it was a lower leg injury. 4 minutes ago, it's a torn from Adam Shepard. It says torn Achilles. 4 minutes ago. So let me double check. I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm on his Twitter right now, reading it right now. It says here 5 minutes ago. Same thing. All right, I'll actually keep this. I'll keep an eye on this because, yeah, Adam Shepard. Yeah, 9 minutes ago. I think you can't. Which one? I'm following the Adam Shepard, the legitimate page, not the fake dude. Yeah. No. Let me go to ESPN just to double check these things. Justin Fields injury. Let's see. All right, so I guess I'm waiting to see what's going on with this. Currently his no injury report here it is 13. What the fuck? What? Card off practice on Thursday. New York Jets may have another significant injury. Hold on. What the fuck? All right, here it is. Really do. All right, for Pittsburgh Series quarterback. Start off the field. She was, yeah, I'm reading that right now. Is being carted off the field, limping off, being checked by a trainer. Not great. Yeah. So it's a low. Right now they're tracking it up. Okay, so depending on who you read, the guy who covers the Pittsburgh Steelers says it looks like a lower leg injury. Adam Shepard, on his account, says it's Achilles, potential Achilles, if it is true. I'm going to go on to, I know Adam Shepard. Oh, God damn it. You know what? I'm just going to wait until something gets popped up. I'll revisit this. Yeah, I'm switching out things. I'm actually going to Adam Shepard. I'm going on his actual website. Yeah, no, here it is. No, I just want ESPN. I'm not even going to bother on X. I don't like X. That's why I don't get my news from X. So I return everything because I don't like X. So I'm going to stick with his page on. So it just says Carter Field with lower leg injury. Adam Shepard on ESPN.com, not X. So please, if anyone comments on my thing, please don't mention anything about X from now on moving forward. I'm going to stick to NFL.com or actual legitimate websites and not X for my information, which I just did like an idiot. So I hold myself on that. So that's why I freaking hate these damn things. All right, so going back to what I was saying. So Justin Fields, lower leg injury. No updates yet. That was now going on 12 minutes. That's about it right now. Is seeking a new contract. Washington wide receiver Terry McLaurin, who is seeking a new contract, did not report to training camp today. That was 2 days ago. I did know that for him and the Washington Commanders was in the process of doing that. Let's talk about the potential of Justin Fields being injured anyway. Lower leg, that's another blow to the man's career. First and foremost, I was surprised he didn't stay with Pittsburgh, but then again, Pittsburgh was like really on the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes there. And if that was the route they were going anyway, and they were going to go sign Aaron Rodgers, I understand why he left. I work from home, so I have a child. So going back to us saying, all right, where was I on this? Yeah, no, it kind of stinks because I felt that Justin Fields got the short end of the stick when he played for the Chicago Bears. Horrible coaching in that situation, and it was just, and if this leg injury, I'm hoping honestly for him, I hope it's just a sprained ankle. I hope it's nothing serious for Justin Fields. I really feel for the young guy. He's only 26 years old, roughly around that age, and he goes from the Bears to the Steelers. Now he's on the Jets. That's like people go to the Jets. It's like almost basically the end of your career. Some say, but the question now is, what are we gonna do? What are the Jets gonna do? Are they gonna go right with Case Smith? Like who goes on there? But that's the Bears. Oh, that's a good question. Who the hell do they have for quarterbacks? I know Zach Wilson left. I know a bunch of people left. That's a good question. What is their roster? That is a good. Okay. All right. I'm gonna find out right now who they have. Brady Cook. They have Brady Cook. Justin Fields, obviously. Adrian Martinez. The name sounds familiar. Was that one of the guys from the USFL? I think so. Let me see. Yeah, I think Adrian Martinez was the guy who played for the Michigan Panthers at one point. Let's see. No. I must have mistaken him for someone else. Nope, he did play for the UFL. Okay, I was right. He played for the Brigham Stallions. That's what it was. Yep, Brigham Stallions, and they won a championship with him on that squad. So I don't know who this Murray Rangel, whatever you are, man, but I'm about to have someone block you because this is ridiculous. These scam artists that pop up on these streams of mine. All right, so Adrian Martinez played for the Brigham Stallions during their 2024. All right, so that's who they have right now. It's QB. They're probably going to go to free agency. Or they're going to, I guess, ride with one of those two guys. Who knows? But it just stinks if he did get injured. Let's see what the Jets.com has. Sometimes they're spot on with some stuff. Here it is. No, that's goals. Reasonable. All right, let me get out of this. We just know that once there is more reports on what happened with Justin Fields, I will I'll go over that tomorrow for tomorrow's episode because right now I am bafflingly confused, and I'm just not gonna report anything until I see more from ESPN or that from that. Once again, Justin Fields. Hope it's not a serious injury. I hope he's okay. That would really stink if it wasn't, because that would be a very bad thing. Because this was, some people thought this was going to be the time when he, repairs his career and becomes in as the New York Jets savior. I don't know about that. I don't see. I did not see him. Him as the savior of the New York Jets. To be fair, between you and me. Other news: the UFL looks like it's self-destructing on itself. The XFL USFL merger has finally become a thing where it's collapsing on each other. And it's starting to build up on that. Also, another news. I still think the Cleveland Browns' turn of uniforms being presented by Do Wipes absolutely comical. I hope that was unintentional, because if it was, they're the biggest joke at this moment. So let's go into other news that I've been trying to find here. I just had it now, and now I lost it. Jeez. So, what does everyone's predictions of the NFL season is? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to take the division? Well, like I said, I'm going to do a preseason predictions. So this is how I do my predictions. I do them twice. I do before the season starts and then after week 5. Week 5, at that point, you have a definite idea of where people are going to be. Some people are like, that doesn't make sense. When you do predictions, no, because you have to count in injuries. You have to count in how they play the first 5 games. I always believe in you should not make any predictions until after the first 5 games. First 5 games, you kind of rock solid, and then you're stuck with it, right? You can't, what I call exchange back out. Also, another turn of outfits that were the really sick looking 1923 classics that the Green Bay Packers just released for uniforms looks fire, and I'm not even a Packers fan. So if any of you guys not seen this, I'm gonna pull it up right now and show you these amazing looking turn of outfits. Okay, so you have the shit colored browns turn of, and then you have these gold. Look at that. Look at that. And I love the airbrush helmet that looks like an old leather strap-on helmet instead of going like a plain yellow helmet. Love it. Just love it. From like a design aspect, probably one of the best they have ever done. And that's saying very little about the organization, but pretty good. I think Green Bay Packers going to be a really hot team. Actually, I think all 4 teams, the NFC, well, okay, I don't know about Chicago Bears. They're still a little, They're still a little on the fence in their situation. But Lions, Vikings, Packers are going to be fighting in that division. They're going to be fighting really hard, and I don't think minus the Bears. Yeah, I think minus the Bears. I think every team in that division have a winning record. Now, are they going to, bum aid? No, probably not. But I think the Lions are going to hurt losing their offensive and defensive coordinators, and then the replacements are just understudies, previous coordinators, which a lot of people are like, oh, that means we're going to be good again. It's like, I don't know about that. Bill Belichick lucked out for a while, but he always ended up bringing some of his old coordinators back. So I think it's the same thing with Dan Campbell. He's going to go this season with people within the staff. Hopefully it carries on over for the next season, but if it doesn't, and if they struggle early enough, I see Dan Campbell replacing them next offseason. Dan Campbell's job safe, by the way. That man ain't going to get fired. Unless they go 0-17, then he's staying with the Lions for the next couple of years. Minnesota Vikings are going to go really all in on J.J. McCarthy this season. So, coming back from an injury from last year. The question I have for them is, what are they going to do? So, are they going to like, I don't know why, but I'm very curious on how they're going to pull that off. With the way they want to do it, like, are they going to have JJ? Like, are they going to hope that they're going to pull something off with the? Like, I'm just curious. I'm just curious because he's coming off an injury, and normally, that's a slow. It's like a slow build up, sort of. So, like, are they going to slowly work them in? Are they going to, work them, run them rugged? Like, I mean, and then Kevin Conn is like the quarterback whisperer. He can get whatever quarterback. He can get a homeless guy across the street eating a buffalo wing sub and probably get him to freaking play at all-star level. Did it with Joshua Dobbs. Did it with, what's his face? Who the hell went started for them and did really well, and then sorry about that, guys. Yeah, no. So I think right now, everything looks kind of crazy right now with the NFC North. It looks really, it's going to be a fucking tight thing. But then again, if you look at the NFC North, you look at the AFC North, both divisions are essentially been really tough anyway. It doesn't matter where they are record-wise, That whole Justin Field thing throwing me off the rest of the damn show. All right, moving forward, I am not looking up anything from Max ever again because of due to the fake accounts and shit. That really pissed me off now. Happens to all of us, right? But unfortunately, this Justin Fields injury, I won't get any more information until probably tomorrow. So with that being said, actually, I got something. All right, so here's the latest about Justin Fields' injury. So the New York Jets quarterback was injured during training camp team drills on July 24, 2025. Fields limped after rolling right and throwing a short pass, then was evaluated by the medical staff before being carted off to the locker room. Nature of the injury, it appears to be a lower right leg or foot injury. Trainers removed his shoe and spent several minutes assessing the area. So he couldn't intentionally bear weight. Fields was able to sit upright in the car and walk gingerly once near the facility. Team reaction: the Jets paused 11-on-11 drills and shifted special teams while he was being examined. Backup Tyrod Taylor took over reps. There has been no official diagnosis or update on the severity of the recovery time. What's next? With training camp in full swing and preseason around the bend, the Jets will need further medical evaluation to determine whether this is a minor sprain or something more serious. Fields' availability for the upcoming practices hinges on that diagnosis. So, the next steps is they're going to be doing an MRI imaging and team updates before assessing his return. So there you go, guys. More up to the point coverage on the Justin Field thing. So we're not going to know anything I mean, they're probably going to go get them MRIs done today, if not today, first thing tomorrow morning, and then we're probably not going to find anything out about this until either Friday afternoon or Monday morning. Who knows? Sometimes they get this stuff really out. Well, unfortunately, I have to go, guys. But I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30. Moving forward, I am not doing X anymore. My information. So you guys have a great morning. This is the Morning Blitz Sports Talk Radio, only on the Hardcore Sports Network. This is AJ. You guys have a great day.